The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 1, Chapter 4, Religion, Not the Crying Need of India. On 20th September 1893, Christians must always be ready for good criticism, and I hardly think that you will mind if I make a little criticism. You Christians who are so fond of sending out missionaries to save the soul of the heathen, why do you not try to save their bodies from starvation? In India, during the terrible famine, thousands died from hunger. Yet you Christians did not think. You erect churches all through India, but the crying evil in the East is not religion. They have religion enough, but it is bread that the suffering millions of burning India cry out for with parched throats. They ask us for bread, but we give them stones. It is an insult to the starving people to offer them religion. It is an insult to the starving man to teach him metaphysics. In India, a priest that preached for money would lose caste and be spat upon by people. I came here to seek aid for my impoverished people, and I fully realized how difficult it was to get help for atheists from Christians in the Christian land. Chapter 5, Buddhism, the fulfillment of Hinduism. 26 September 1893. I am not Buddhist, as you have heard, and yet I am. If China or Japan or Ceylon follow the teachings of great master, India worships him as a god incarnation on earth. You have just now heard that I am going to criticize Buddhism, but by that I wish you to understand only this. Far be it from me to criticize him whom I worship as God incarnation on earth. But our views about Buddha are that he was not understood properly by his disciples. The relation between Hinduism and what is called as Buddhism at the present day is nearly the same as between Judaism and Christianity. Jesus Christ was a Jew and Sankhya Muni was a Hindu. The Jews rejected Jesus Christ, null crucified him, and the Hindu have accepted Sankhya Muni as God and worshipped him. But the real difference that we Hindus want to show between modern Buddhism and what we should understand as the teaching of Lord Buddha lies principally in this. Sankhya Muni came to preach nothing new. He also, like Jesus, came to fulfill and not to destroy. Only in the case of Jesus, it was the old people, the Jews, who did not understand him, while in case of Buddha, it was his own followers who did not realize the import of his teaching. As the Jew did not understand the fulfillment of the old talisman, so the Buddhist did not understand the fulfillment of the truths of the Hindu religion. Again, I repeat, Sankhya Muni came not to destroy, but he was the fulfillment, the logical conclusion, the logical development of the religion of Hindus. The religion of Hindus is divided into two parts, the ceremonial and the spiritual. Spiritual portion is specially studied by monks. In that, there is no caste. A man from the higher caste, a man from the lower caste can become monk in India, and the two castes become equal. In religion, there are no caste. Caste is simply a social institution. Sankhya Muni himself was a monk, and it was his glory that he had the large heartedness to bring out the truth from the hidden Vedas and through them broadcast all over the world. He was first being in the world who brought missionaries into practice. He was the first to conceive the idea of proselytizing. The great glory of Master lay in his wonderful sympathy for everybody, especially for ignorant and poor. Some of his disciples were Brahmins. When Buddha was teaching, Sanskrit was no more the spoken language in India. It was then only the books of the learned ones. Some of Buddha's Brahmins disciples wanted to translate his teachings into Sanskrit, but he distinctly told them, I am not, I am for poor, for the people. Let me speak in the tongue of the people. And so, to this day, the great bulk of his teaching are in the vernacular of that day in India. Whatever may be the position of philosophy, whatever may be the position of metaphysics, so long as there is such a thing as death in the world, so long as there is such a thing weakness in the human heart, so long as there is cry going on out of the heart of the man in his very weak, there shall be faith in God. On the philosophic side of the disciple of great master dashed themselves against the eternal rocks of the Vedas and could crush them. And on the other side, they took away the nation for that eternal God to which every one, man and woman, clinged so fondly. And the result was that Buddhism had to die a natural death in India. At the present day, there is not one who calls oneself the Buddhist in India, the land of its birth. But the same thing, Brahminism lost something. That reforming zeal, that wonderful sympathy and charity for everyone, that wonderful leaven which Buddhism had brought to the masses and which had rendered Indian society so great that a Greek historian who wrote about India of that time was led to say that no Hindu was known to tell an untruth, no Hindu woman was known to be unchaste. Hinduism cannot live without Buddhism, nor Buddhism without Hinduism. Then realize what the separation has shown to us, that the Buddhist cannot stand without the brain, the philosophy of Brahmins, nor the Brahman without the heart of the Buddhist. This separation between Buddhists and the Brahmins is the cause of downfall of India. That is why India is populated by 300 millions of beggars, and that is why India has been the slave of conquerors for the last 1,000 years. Let us then let us then join the wonderful intellect of the Brahmin with the heart, the noble soul, the wonderful humanizing power of the great master. Chapter 6, Address at the Final Session, 27 September 1893. The world's parliament of religion has become an accomplished fact, and the merciful Father has helped those who labored to bring it into existence and crowned with success their most unselfish labor. My thanks to those noble souls whose large hearts and love of truth first dreamed this wonderful dream and then realized it. My thanks to the shower of liberal sentiments that has overflowed this platform. My thanks to the enlightenment audience for their uniform kindness to me and for the appreciation of every thought that tend to smooth the friction of religion. A few jarrer notes were heard from time to time in this harmony. My special thanks to them, for they have, by their striking contrast, made general harmony the sweeter. Much has been had said of the common ground of religion unity. I am not going just now to venture my own theory, but if anyone here hopes that this unity will come by the trump of any one of the religion and the destruction of the other, to him I say, brother, yours is an impossible hope. Do I wish that the Christian would become Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that Hindu or Buddhist would become Christian? God forbid. The seed is put in the ground, and earth and air and water are placed around. Does the seed becomes the earth or air or water? No. It becomes a plant. It develops after the law of its own growth, assimilates the air, the earth, and the water, converts in them into plant substance, and grows into plants. Similar is the case with religion. The Christian is not to be become a Hindu or Buddhist, nor the Hindu or the Buddhist will become Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his own individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. If the parliament of religion has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity, charity are not the exclusive positions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women who of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and destruction of the other, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be returned, in spite of resistance, and help and not fight, assimilate, not distract, harmonize and peace and not dissension.